I had weighed myself recently and I'm 202. 202. And I'm like, okay, okay, skinny girl. You know, I remember I used to think 200 was like, oh my gosh, I'm close to 200. I gotta slow down. And I was like 180 something. I never realized how small I was because you hear 180 something and it's like 180. Then you hear 200 and you're like 200. Then you hear 220 and you're like 220. So work with what the hell you got. You look the good. Stop worrying about what other people. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about the people. Speaking of the people, why is New York City funding $2 million for Ukrainian refugees? Where did New York City get this money from? I mean, you can't make this shit up. $2 million.
In a show of solidarity, Mayor Adams announced a $2 million fund to assist thousands of Ukrainians expected to seek refuge here.
We are with you. We stand with you. We support you, not only in words, but in deeds.
Now, broadly, the White House says the U.S. will welcome up to 100,000 Ukrainians and others fleeing Russia's aggression. The mayor says the city funds announced today will help those here in the 5 boroughs access immigration legal assistance, translation services, social services, and other resources.
But they can't house and aid the homeless people of New York? They just kicked mad homeless people out of Central Park and around the area through all their stuff. Their stuff's been thrown out on the street, wiped clean. So New York is funding, I don't know who agreed to it, but $2 million. The mayor, Mr. Adams, announced it. He's trying to combat drill music and fight the homeless. You know, and thought, yes, $2 million to fund and aid Ukrainian refugees makes sense. Just like taking $800 million from children and family services. But it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay, y'all know the Buffalo Bills?
Who?
The Buffalo Bills? Is that their name? Buffalo Bucks? Like,
Who?
they Buffalo something. And I think they're football. I don't know. I don't know this team. I'm guessing NFL. I don't know sports. I'm sorry. Sue me. I'm a girl. Football team. American football team. National Football League. So it's NFL. It's NFL. Yeah, their logo looks familiar. How many teams does New York need? I mean, 3 NFL teams? That's getting a little stingy now. But $850 million was given to the Buffalo Bills for a new stadium. Meanwhile, they're worth like, how much billion? Let's see. How much are the Buffalo Bills worth? $2.27 billion in franchise value. They're owned by Terry and Kim Pogol. I don't know their names. They have a lot of money in which they can make a new stadium. And this is taxpayers' money. The people who pay taxes. The regular people who broke. Or just the people who pay in taxes. Which is a lot of people. Tax season just passed. I don't even know who the Buffalo Bills are. I am not ashamed to say it. I've been stopped watching the NFL. I barely care about halftime shows. That's all people want to see is the commercials and the halftime show. Who's watching football? So yeah, the Buffalo Bills got $850 million, while $800 million was taken from family and children. You got to love to see it. I'm telling you. Just like you gotta love to see Hampton University, a HBCU, open its arms and its doors and its tuition and room and board to Ukrainian refugees for free. Open arms, even though Africans were being held at the border and told they can't leave because everybody who's Ukrainian only can get on first. And in general, and I have yet to get an update as to have they gotten out of there safe? What's been happening? What's going on since March?
What about the students trapped in Kherson?
So most of our conversations dried up. It was really difficult to get in touch with a lot of the people who were still trapped in there. But when we managed to, they were still asking for help.
Several foreign students wanting to flee the region are stuck in Kherson. One of them, Jerry Kenny, has been speaking to us.
No aid has come from the Nigerian government in terms of food and water. Nobody's complaining. We don't want it. What we want is for you to do everything to evacuate us from here. We want action before it becomes worse.
He says he was stopped by Russian troops.
It was terrible. I was stripped off my clothes, tried to touch our skins, and we're like, what? This is my skin. I don't have any weapon on me. You can see that. Why did you have to strip me off? So we're just with our trousers only, and there's nothing we could do. We were cold. People are just looking at us and standing just like half naked on the main road. Just we, this is not a general thing they did. They just did it for just 3 of us.
Eventually, they were set free and managed to catch a train.
I wasn't scared of my life, but I was scared about the people that are coming behind me.
Becky, Michael, and their children messaged us to say they had managed to make it onto a train from Kyiv. 4 days later, news came in. They had arrived in the German capital, Berlin.
Once more, because
after weeks of silence, we found out the Kherson students had escaped. But Oche King had no such luck. He remains trapped.
The fact that people were literally held back from leaving, just trying to leave because of their skin, because of their race. You can't make this shit up.
Later, I got a chance to interview the Ukrainian ambassador to South Africa. What's your reaction to all these reports about the way Africans who are trying to flee the fighting in your country are being mistreated by Ukrainian border guards?
This is absolute nonsense, because me personally...
I've been there, I've seen them, and I've spoken to these students. I just came back from Ukraine.
I also speak to the students, I speak to their parents.
The Ukrainians are being bullied, but if in turn the Ukrainians are bullying a small group of people, I think that story should be told as well.
The UN High Commissioner for Refugees has acknowledged racist treatment at Ukraine's borders. The Ukrainian government has said Africans should be offered equal opportunities to return home and promised to spare no effort to solve the problem.
You're in the middle of a war and you're still racist? Like, are you kidding me? This is backwards. This is backwards. Just let niggas leave. Just let niggas leave. This will go faster, but you're stopping people. And Hampton, don't y'all got students in general struggling to pay their tuition and lack of funding, but you're offering free room and board to an extra 50 plus students? Where is this money coming from? I mean, New York, Hampton, all this money is coming out of whose ass? Who is funding this? I thought we were broke. The U.S. has extended its arms so far up Ukraine's ass to help. And it's just like, where's this money coming from? What is this doing for us? So Hampton decides to do that. New York City mayor, whoever agreed, I don't know, decides to extend $2 million of funding. New York State Governor Hochul decides to make a $800 million budget cut, but spend $800 million plus on a new stadium. That makes sense. Anyways, everyone going so hard for Ukraine, but are so quick to arrest and detain refugees fleeing from their country. Remember when a bunch of Haitians just popped up out of nowhere in Texas or something? I mean, poof, they were there, fleeing the active violence in their country. Sad, but then nothing else. Like what happened? Where's the open arms? Where's the refuge? Where's they $2 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just confused where this selective outrage. Do you know how many wars, active violence is going on around the world? Cameroon, Ethiopia. Like, it's so much happening, but we're focused on Ukraine. What the U.S. got? We broke. We are broke. We have nothing. Okay? We have nothing. But we keep giving and giving and giving like f***ing buffoons. You can't make this shit up. This makes no sense. None of this is making sense. The U.S. done dump everything into them, right? Spent mad bread on them. In debt further. Like, at this point, we've been bankrupt.
Like no money on my card.
Get it together. You can't make it up. You just can't. Listen, I ain't got time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I tripping? You know, maybe I'm tripping about it. I just feel as though this is a little... I'm not too political or whatever, but when it comes to this not making sense to me, I'm gonna talk my shit. You know I'm gonna talk my shit. But you know the deal. You know the deal. Like, comment, do all that good stuff, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next one.